Oh, brother, what a nightmare. Okay, let's see what we got out of the log. I'll read that before I go. Maybe I'll keep updating myself. I mean, I don't know how accurate this is, but this countdown seems to start when I launch, as opposed to when I wake up. Just a theory, though. Okay. Let's talk. Let's go over here. Over what we found. The Nomai noticed a strange wandering rock that appeared in multiple caves on Ember's twin's northern hemisphere. I found a strange rock shard that moves when I'm not watching. It emits a signal on the quantum fluctuations frequency. One of the 3 Nomai escape pods that crashed in our solar system. All 3 escape pods were launched from something called the vessel, which was badly damaged. We know this. The Nomai survivors who crashed on Ember Twin decided to seek shelter in the caves beneath their crashed escape pod. I haven't been there yet. A Nomai named Coleus mysteriously vanished from a cave at the bottom of the dry lake bed at Ember Twin's North Pole. And Chert has set up their astronomy gear on the North Pole of Ember Twin. Chert has spotted an unusually high number of supernovae recently. All the stars in the universe are dying, including our sun. The stars are simply dying from old age. Apparently they're much older than we realized. Which may or may not explain the time loop. I haven't gotten all from Chert that I want, that I need to, so I'm gonna go to him first. Or them first, I should say. Okay. Shame I found him so late. I don't blame him for being upset, but I guess he's not affected by the time loop as I am. Or, sorry, he's not as unaffected by the time loop as I am. I know that there are other things that aren't affected by the time loop, like myself. For example, that statue, that Nomai statue. Its eyes were closed when I first encountered it. Then its eyes opened. And then, after I went to the Outer Rock, after the sun blew up for the first time, can't believe I'm saying that, the eyes stayed open. They stay open between loops. But does that mean that something else happens between loops? Is it possible, for example, that hang on a second, I gotta dodge a whole planet, or should I say ball full of ash. Okay, is it by any chance possible that... Don't land in the groove, don't land in the groove, don't land in the groove, don't land in the groove. Stick landing, stick landing, stick landing. Okay, that's better. Bumpy landing, but whatever. Is it possible that there are other things which are also unaffected by the time loop? Or rather, they don't reset. I'm one of those other things. Church camp, where is it? What the? So once you're in the groove, you're stuck. For good, it seems. I mean, if you wait for the sand to pile up long enough, you'll run out of oxygen first. So I suppose what I'm gonna have to do is... well, I'll try talking to Chert anyway. If I can get to him. But I think the one thing I'm going to have to do is aim for a hole that's easy, relatively easy to miss. I don't particularly relish the idea. Okay, so ash seems to be a ball of sand with, wait a second. It isn't connected now. The sand isn't falling from ash the way it was before. If I had to guess, I'd say that ash is in a decaying orbit around Ember. And as soon as it gets close to him, it's going to start pouring sand in. Okay, this is the equivalent of getting the gas mixed up with the brake, but alright. Sure, it is about 150 meters from here in this direction. Is he on the pole, come to think of it? I get there without falling into these canyons? I was able to find a more direct route because of the sand before, but okay, so there's this particular path I have to follow if I'm to get to church this early. Once again sidetracked by whatever this is. I saw this from orbit. What? Looks like another weird Nomai thing, but for the life of me, I can't figure it out. Since when has that ever made any difference? Hello? This looks familiar. I saw it from Brittle Hollow's own projection chamber. Hold it. Can I actually send a probe down here? Okay, so it's inside something. It's inside that. But that doesn't really tell me anything, does it? It's got a wall. So whatever this thing is, it's got some kind of a wall around it, a gate. Wait, here's a stairway. And some Nomai writing. The Sunless City is that direction, 300 meters. Note this door will need to remain closed for some time. Pi and I are running an experiment based on the extraordinary findings from the White Hole Station. Wait a minute. Rami and I will be running this experiment so one of us officially may can prove the other wrong. Although it's inconvenient, the lab currently can only be accessed by the path from the Sunless City. Inviting sand inside was to disrupt our setup and could have enormous consequences. We realize this is an intriguing prospect, but the door must remain closed nonetheless. We went with that idea. An update, the High Energy Lab is now being used to design the Ash Twin project. If you're here to help, or even just to observe, be sure to use the Sunless City path to the lab. And this is the High Energy Lab. In fact, this is what was, this is what that thing on Terra Hearth was talking about. How, like a high energy lab and all that ore we were mining. So then where is the Sunless? Oh. Okay, yeah, it looks like this is all a matter of finding out where the stairway goes. And how to, okay, look at this, a solid wall. Hold it. Goose matter in here. Supposedly it's painful, and yet So how exactly do I get through ghost matter? I'm guessing I don't. Well, here's the crash site caves. Maybe if I can use them somehow. I mean, there is always the possibility that I just have to pass through the ghost matter and hope it doesn't hurt me too badly. Ah! I didn't know there were even trees on this planet. I didn't know there was a thing. I'll fall in the groove again. I once was more than enough for that. But I will follow this path wherever it takes me. Assuming it takes me anywhere. Oh dear. Yeah, there seems to be some kind of a sand leak. The groove I gotta jump over. Oh, this is the other side of... Ow! Okay, so that's what happens. I have to tape with my suit. Wondered about that. But regardless, this is the other side of the crash site. Do not follow this tunnel to its end. Calais and I will examine the horror that lies at its terminus later, provided we live through this. Okay, let me just... There we go. Keep moving, friends. There is nothing of interest at the end of this passage but rocks. And while these rocks are interesting, they can wait until the last urgent time. Emergency escape hatch. Okay, so they already blew the hatch. Can I read what's over there? No, I'll read what's over here instead. We have found an enormous cavern at the end of this passage that appears promising. I believe we should construct long-term shelter there. The cavern Mallory found is a wise choice for shelter. Could one of you mark the directions for others to follow? This is the heart of the path to the shelter site. I've left directions to guide you there. Of note, we must hurry as the path there is filling with sand. Do not allow yourself to be buried by sand and make sure no one is lost. Okay, maybe I ought to follow this one simply because it's the one that I read the most recently. You know, my ship's log also lasts through supernovae, but the, oh, more of this, eh? Okay, I'm gonna have to jetpack my way down very cleverly. Or just jump down very cleverly. The path to the shelter site is somewhat convoluted, so follow the instructions ahead closely. Yeah, they built, things to walk on, but they're not gonna last. Okay, didn't mean to do that. I was gonna read something, but not this time. If I were to pass... Can I pass through this? I'll just run through. Okay, that wasn't too bad. There's something here, but I can't see it. How can I even get through it? But one thing I can do... Okay, it's a dead end, never mind. Yeah, sand landing on me is one thing. Sand pouring down overhead directly from the planet is another. And this seems to be where it's all going. Maybe I can get back up somehow. Yeah, like... here, for example? Okay, can I get through here? No, I can't. Here. Yeah, this is where I was aiming for anyway. To reach the shelter site, walk forward until you meet the sandfall at the pit, then turn left, continue to the room filled with rock column formations, and climb upward through the opening above them. The sand here is rising, so you must be cautious but swift. What did that thing say again? Walk forward until you meet the sandfall at the pit, turn left. Continue and climb up through the opening above them. Okay, sandfall at the pit, which I think is here. Then turn left, which I think is that way. At the rock formation. Oh, I hope I find this place soon. Okay, I'm guessing this is hand on the wall time. Oh boy, the pit sure is filling up fast, isn't it? I'm right back where I started. But then again... Hold it. Is it my imagination, or is the sand filling up faster? I think I'm gonna have to backtrack. I'm running out of oxygen and caves at the same time. Does he really not have any oxygen to I thought it had. Basically, we need status reports from all systems, but things first is everyone unharmed. Our escape pod passengers are afraid but physically well, and everyone survived the crash. This is a relief, at least. You have my gratitude, Burr. We were able to find other escape pods' distress signals. I can hear both signals somewhere in this star system, but I don't believe either escape pod crashed on the same planet as us. Well, we know that already. Alright, where are their trees? Church camp is 270-some meters away. And as for my own ship... I can't tell from all the way over here. Oh, so they're both pretty far. Okay, I jumped over it. I am heading towards Church Camp because that is... that's the closest in my direction. Yeah, there it is over there. I might just make it. I'm afraid the only thing I can't do, though, is talk to Church. If I'm reading him correctly, he is not in a talking mood right now, and frankly, neither am I. I'm gonna go in here. I mean, the deeper areas are full of sand, so there really isn't a whole lot of... there really aren't a whole lot of other places to go, but... I was here earlier. Yeah, that's that rock. You know, if I were to... where'd he go? Let me see, it's around here. Oh wait, this is just where he is in the northern lake bed cave. I suppose I could go there. permitting. But then again, I think I was there. Or rather, I just came from there. I passed over it with... Because Church's camp is there. I mean, this is a lake bed, but there's no actual cave to be found here. It's all been buried under the sand. Well, at least the planet itself isn't falling to bits. Falling into that white hole, into that black hole, and then coming out that white hole is ridiculously annoying. So what's over here? Anything? Yeah, there does appear to be something here. In fact, I think when I first ran into this place, this may or may not be where I came from. Yeah, that's the escape pod again. And even it's sinking into the sand. Is there anything at the south pole? Yes, there is. That's surprising. Oh, look at I just discovered it. This planet sometimes and only sometimes has a moon. This is also of note. It disappears as if no one was watching it. Isn't that a fascinating orbital characteristic? I found your note, Mallory. Kindly count me among the moon's admirers. What is happening when it disappears? I doubt it ceases to exist. Does it move to another location? I believe so. Not only does the moon appear around Brittle Hollow, I can confirm it sometimes orbits Timberhearth as well. This is my first time encountering a natural satellite with the ability to vanish when not being watched. We should study it, or even better, we should travel there. I agree. Our first step would be determining a method to track this phantom moon so we can always know where it is. Given its reluctance to move while consciously observed, it might be a form of macroscopic quantum mechanics. In other words, if the quantum moon, which I was discussing at Brittle Hollow, sorry, I gotta refuel oxygen. If that moon disappears from there, maybe it can be found somewhere else. Hold it, there's a recording. Church Research Center is property of Church. Clearly the Nomai were making astronomical observations here. They chose an excellent spot. What is this big rotating device for? What was it the Nomai were observing? I'd posit it was something special about the orange symbol on that device. Hal and the new astronaut's translator told me this to have handy about now. Well, I'm there. Scroll. Pick that up and read from it if I can make it work here. Okay, let me just swap out scrolls here. Okay, what's this one say? The quantum moon locator is functioning. We have markers for each of the places the moon goes. Anona Burr, I just observed the quantum moon in orbit around Dark Bramble. You have keen eyes, my friend, so this moon travels to a total of 5 locations, not 4. I added a marker for Dark Bramble. I thought the locator now counted for all the phantom moon's locations, but sometimes the locator can't tell where the moon is. Perhaps there's a problem with the device. It's It's also possible there exists a sixth place in the star system which the Phantom Moon travels. Yes, I suppose that is possible. So this here is the Phantom Moon locator. We have Brittle Hollow, Dark Bramble, Giant's Deep, and this is here, and over there is Terra Hearth, and this must be where the moon is. It's orbiting Giant's Deep right now. I can see it, actually. I wonder, does this mean that if I ever want to go to that moon, I just have to stop by here? And now... yeah, it found it on Brittle Hollow. And then... now it's orbiting Terra Hearth. And I can't see it, so it's not moving. What if I were to cycle it through all of the possible locations, and there's like a sixth one? Okay, now it's moving again. Okay, so this is really luck of the draw kind of thing. As soon as it escapes my field of vision... Hello again? Giant Steve and Timber Hearth. Either one. But you get the point. Okay, so... Ash is... actually, no, Ash is completely drained of sand. Sorry, force a habit. So there is something... that's what's left of Ash. There, what's left of the escape pod, if I had to guess. There really isn't anything here because all the sand from Ash has been moved to Ember, but this prompts a rather fascinating question. Suppose I did land on it. Well, I don't know, should I land on Ash next, or should I just, I mean, if I were to land on Ash, there's like some kind of shell around Ash, right? So the sand is draining from some sort of a hole in the shell, but if I were to land on Ash, I wouldn't be able to go anywhere in Ash. Or would I? It's hard to tell. Unless that's it right there at the center. Maybe if I land on Ash's surface and wait enough, I'll be able to land on it and get inside there. Then again, I don't think so. They were a thing covering the whole planet. It does look like it is covered by something.